Good morning. It's time for Daily Dose with Dr. Lazar. I'm Dr. Lazar, and today I want to remember 9/11. Now, it's been 19 years since planes flew into buildings, and I wanted to offer hope and encouragement as I remember 9/11. And it was a very marked day. Now, my experience doesn't really matter, but what I learned from it, I can share with you, and then maybe it can add value to your life. So, one of the things, so that morning I had woken up and I was in my apartment and I read my Bible in my bed. So I had my Bible and I was reading through it. And I read about how the Israelites had their temple destroyed. Now, for the Israelites, the Jewish people, their temple really was their identity. And I remember reading, wow, their temple was destroyed and their whole identity was shaken at that point. And if you've had experiences like this, you'll know what I'm about to say makes sense. If you haven't, it might sound a little weird, but God kind of spoke to my heart in that moment and was telling me to be ready for change. Well, I had had a dream that night, the night before while I was sleeping, before I woke up and read my Bible, about my a very close friend of mine, Mike Curtis. Mike, if you see this, love you, bro. Like, thanks for being a great friend. Anyway, he had just gotten married, and we lived in Springfield, Missouri, in the same apartment complex at the same college. We went to Evangel, and he and his wife moved back to Michigan. And I had a dream about him, and I was really sad about it. I missed it. Um, he uh, he moved, and it was so sad. Australia's on the line. There we go. Hey, thanks for watching from Australia. That's awesome. So he moved, and I was really sad, and I completely missed him. And so he ended up staying in Michigan. I was sad. I missed my friend, and he ended up staying there. Sorry, I was clicking around on the computer. Forgive me. I'm a guy. I can do this many things at a time. So I was sad about that. Then I read this in my Bible, and then God kind of speaks to my heart. Hey, you know, be ready for change. And I thought, all right, it must be related to my friend Mike, and he's not moving back, and now I'm sad and whatever. Well, as soon as I close my Bible, my dad calls and said, "Hey, you better turn on the news." And I said, "Why do I need to turn on the news?" He said, "Just turn it on." So I went out into my living room and I turned on the news, and I see one of the towers smoking, and burning. And I thought, whoa, that's not good. I wonder what happened. It must have, and they said it was a plane crash. I thought, oh no, that's so sad. And then just within a couple minutes later, I saw the other plane on news live fly into the other building. And I thought, oh gosh, this is not right. And my heart was kind of gripped with fear. And then there was the Pentagon thing and the Pennsylvania thing. And a friend of mine in college, her dad worked at the Pentagon. And it was just all this like, oh my gosh, what's going on? So beyond that, life was different. As you know, we had to, fly differently, and we had to go through security differently and all these things. But bigger than that, we rallied as a people. Politics aside, we rallied as a people, and it was cool. A lot of lives were lost that day, and it's still sad. It's heavy to think about all the rubble, all the cleanup. I had been there. I had sang in Carnegie Hall the 2 years before that, in '99 and 2000, and I had been in Manhattan, and I had been at the World Trade Center. I had bought shirts at the Brooks Brothers right at I mean, literally, you walk out of Brooks Brothers and you see the World Trade Center. I had just been there, and I just thank God that He's got a plan. And so I just want to encourage you today as we remember 9/11, and we pray for the families that lost loved ones. And I mean, 19 years is a long time. Life is very different in 19 years. But I really pray for those families, all the first responders. I pray for what it did. And I thank God, and this is what I want to encourage you with. I thank God that that He still has a plan and that change is inevitable. But as long as we are not trying to be the star of the story, and as long as we're joining Him in His story, whatever the scene changes, whatever the pandemic causes, whatever the economy does, whatever happens in Washington, right? All of those things, change is the only thing that's constant. And if we can cling to the hope that we have, that it's all figured out, even if it doesn't look or feel like it, it's all figured out. We can get through our day. And not only can we get through our day, we can be effective, because remember, it's all about your full God given potential, and you're here for a reason. And so I would encourage you to acknowledge what needs to be acknowledged and then get right back on your mission. And don't let all this stuff going on around you be the distraction that it would naturally be. You're stronger than that. You're better than that. And the people in your life that are depending on you to bring your best self are needing you to not be distracted and to do what only you can do. I'm Dr. Lazar. This is Daily Dose, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back Monday at 8 a.m. for another Daily Dose. Thanks.